So I recently had a good listen to that music. Did I tell you two about this? I was with my brother and we were playing some board game and he just searched ancient Chinese music to put on in the background, just as something that would sort of match the theme of the game. And that came on and I sort of leapt. I was like, oh my god, this is... And then I realised I couldn't say what it was, so I just sort of shut up and he didn't notice. So I listened to the whole thing.
Yeah.
Hour and a half. Yeah, brilliant. Top quality stuff.
Maybe we should play the whole thing from now on.
Well, maybe we should. I'll include it as a separate podcast.
It's a good idea.
So, Casablanca.
Casablanca.
What did you all think?
I loved it. I really liked it.
I also loved it.
Claire loved it. Fernando?
I did not like it.
Aha! Brilliant. Laura?
Amazing.
Yeah, okay. Aha! Oh, this will be an interesting one then.
So why are you wrong, Fernando?
Well, maybe I was... Well, I should not know. Maybe it was just a combination of factors. Mainly, I played it on my computer and it was not playing. I had to download another web browser because I did not. Anyhow, I guess that's just independent.
Yep. These things can spoil an experience, though.
Wait, why did I not like it?
Maybe if we said why we did like it,
yes, please.
that would help.
Yes, why? I mean, I'm sure. Once I decided that I did not like it, I was like, maybe you should just find some positive things, and I said, well, maybe there are some positive things.
Okay.
Still, I feel like I guess a child in school that is forced to read something and come up with something good about the book, even though he did not like it.
Yeah.
But please, yes, tell me why you liked it.
I thought it was really funny. I really enjoyed the comedy. I thought it was going to be like old school, serious, sort of sickening romance. But actually, I think it was quite entertaining. I enjoyed it. That was the thing I took away most from it. It was funny.
Yeah.
I didn't really pick up on the comedy.
Okay.
Did enjoy the jokes. Some of them, but I enjoyed the sickening romance.
Okay. Okay, interesting.
Michael?
I thought the romance was pretty good. Not too sickening. I thought it was just the right level of complexity, and I particularly enjoyed how they revealed it to us slowly. They could so easily have just started at the beginning and told us this story, but instead they started the telling of the story very near the end, and it was great to see these two and to see there must be so much that's happened between them, but to have to imagine and try and work out what happened before they finally gave us the full story, and I really liked that. But yeah, I enjoyed the light-heartedness of it all, which I was not expecting. I think like you, I thought it was going to be a very serious film. I had it in the same place in my head as Gone with the Wind, which maybe that's really good fun and light-hearted as well. But yeah, I thought it was going to be a real epic, but it was about an hour and a half long and quite easy watching.
Has it? So no one had seen it before?
No. Did you?
No, I'd never seen it before.
Not
heard things about it. The only thing I heard was that she gets on the plane.
Yeah.
And what else?
I think we learned that when Harry Met Sally.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the debate whether she should have got on the plane.
Spoilers.
I was really imagining when she got on the plane that it was because she had chosen Victor Laszlo over Rick.
Yeah.
And that, like, it was this big decision. She'd made the wrong decision. And then I watched it and I was like, no, she just got on the plane out of awkwardness.
Yeah. Having been
forced
badgered
into the
onto it
situation.
from everyone.
Yeah. Very surprising.
Yeah, my understanding of how people talk about that film is like it's some big twist at the end that she gets on, but it's not really. It's sort of all led to that, and yeah. What did you think of the end?
I do not think that she was forced to take the plane. I think that she willingly, and she actually wanted to leave. She was never in love with Rick. She...
oh my god!
What else? She clearly just wanted to have some fun, I guess, for some time. But she was always, as in to me, she was always clearly always in love with the other person.
She never loved the other person.
Exactly.
No, she never loved Victor.
Oh.
She never
my
loved
God.
Victor.
So you say she never loved Victor. You say she never loved Rick.
Well, I do not know whether she ever loved Rick. Sorry, the other one, Victor Laszlo, yes. Yeah. But I strongly believe that she never loved Rick.
Wow.
I also did not really see the comedy either, except for the corrupt official.
He was the main bit of it for me.
There was, however, just one bit that made me laugh when he was like, "I'm shocked at learning that there's some gambling."
Oh yeah, I did laugh at that actually.
In this place. Yes, I guess that was my. Oh, and I just hated all the. How he was so obsessed with this woman who clearly was not interested in him for so long. He should have found someone else. Yes, those were my opinions.
Interesting.
Cool.
No, she was always in love with Rick. She never loved Victor Laszlo.
Why did she leave with him at the end?
Awkwardness, embarrassment.
Oh, that's a terrible conclusion.
I'd have done the same thing. Everyone's telling me, get on the plane. My husband doesn't know that I'm in love with someone else. I'm like, oh, right, cool, okay, bye then.
Yeah, okay. Although the husband did know by that point.
Well, yes, but she was in denial about that.
Okay.
Or at least there was a surface pretense that she never loved Rick.
Okay. I will say she seemed less committed to Rick than she did to Victor.
Can I lay out why she didn't love Victor?
Okay.
Well,
and then you can lay out why she didn't love Rick.
I feel like we never saw really their relationship, apart from that she, I believe, deeply did love this leader of the revolution. But that was all she loved about him. The only time we saw her look starry, gooey-eyed at Victor was when he started making everyone sing La Marseillaise.
Yeah.
And that was it. Like, she was in love with an idea of him. There was this fantasy of he's this glorious revolutionist. And that's it. That's all that she loved about him. We heard that from her childhood story, which was that she'd always heard about this figure. He was this glorious, romantic, sexy leader of the revolution. That was it. That's all she loved about him. That's my theory. Thank you. Goodbye.
Okay. And what did she love about Rick?
Rick was... I honestly don't really know, because Rick seemed like kind of an arsehole, but...
But you're convinced that she did love Rick?
I think she did love Rick.
Okay.
From what we saw of them in Paris, where they were all deeply in love.
Yeah, okay. And the way that she came back to him. Okay.
She kept coming back to Rick.
Kept coming back to him.
She would appear at his place at night. She was clearly very drawn to this man. Maybe she just loved him because he was also quite mysterious and exciting. I feel like this is a woman who likes mysterious and exciting men.
Okay. Interesting. Fernanda, could you give us the other viewpoint that she... Oh, you're not necessarily asserting that she loved Victor, but you're saying that she did not love Rick.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Could you explain that?
I guess I was just putting myself in her position, and maybe I was trying to think that she would behave exactly as I would, and that, as in, if I were in love with Rick, then nobody would convince me to go into the plane. I would just stay. I mean, okay. Yes, maybe people would be forcing me to make a decision, but I would still say, thank you for your opinion, I'll stay. Then what else did I think? I thought that Rick made the correct decision, just letting her go, because, well, if she did love him, then she was just so weak in mind, and that's okay. I don't want to be in love with someone who is that weak. So please go away. Okay. Yes, those were my thoughts.
That she was weak because she...
No, if she was in love with him, then she was weak. And it was also the correct thing for her to go, because I would not want to be in love with someone that is that weak.
Okay. And her weakness was not actually putting in the effort to be with him.
Yes, as in, that would be her weakness if she was actually in love with him. But I claim that maybe she wasn't weak, it's just that she was never in love with him.
Interesting.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
I thought she was infatuated with both of them, just in different ways.
With both of them. Okay, what were the different ways?
I agree with, I guess, depending on what infatuated means.
Yeah, so I think she...
What is love?
What is love? You could write a song about that. So yeah, I think she was in love with the idea of this revolutionary, but I think there is also something very commanding in someone who's that, who has such a strong stance, and I can see how you would be sort of charmed by that, and whether that's love or something, I don't know, but I think she definitely had a thing for Victor.
Oh yeah.
And also that summer, I think, well, no, that period in Paris, she was probably desperately in need of affection, and she found that in Rick and associates him with that love and that comfort, and therefore she associates him with that feeling as well.
Yeah.
Therefore, she's got interest in both of them.
Oh, but neither of those you think are more deep-seated than just a sort of surface level infatuation?
Yeah, I don't think. I don't think you could have a relationship like that with Rick if you were deeply in love with Victor, and I don't think you could get on the plane and leave Rick if you were in love with Rick.
I agree with you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my stance.
Okay, right. So
Change my mind. That's my stance.
So it sounds like you're all just about starting to come down on there's no real evidence of her being in love with anyone. Okay. Sorry, so your assertion there was that if she really loved Victor, then she wouldn't have done such a terrible thing as to cheat on him with some random person in Paris. Yeah,
She did think he was dead, which is fair.
Oh, she thought he was dead, though.
Did she? I'd forgotten that bit.
I'd forgotten that bit as well. But yeah, she did. So isn't it possible for her to be... Because it seems, Fernando, you were saying that the fact that she left on the plane showed that she wasn't in love with Rick, or at least not in a meaningful way. But what if she was in love with both of them? She can't both go and stay. She had to make the choice.
I think you can be in love with both of them, but then either you love them equally or you have a preference, and I believe that she had a preference, and that's why she decided to leave.
Yeah, and finally her preference was Victor.
I don't believe that. I think, as I said, embarrassment made her get on that plane.
In which case, that's fine, because I don't want to be in love with her.
Well, I feel like I identify quite strongly with the fact that she got on the plane out of just embarrassment. Of like, I can't tell Victor at this point in time that I actually wasn't going to get on the plane.
Yeah.
So let's just go and let's see what happens.
However, she had a pretty clear get out, which was if she told Victor she wasn't going, Victor would leave 2 minutes later and be gone forever, right?
I don't think he would have gone.
Oh, he would have stayed for her. Oh, Casablanca 2.
So I've forgotten exactly how it ends. Is he on the plane, Victor?
No, they get on the plane together.
They get on the plane together. Because she could definitely have tricked him to get on the plane and then just not got on.
Oh, that would have been cold.
It would have been.
But yeah, less embarrassing than...
And gets him out of the situation. Like, he needs to leave if he's going to survive. I think she kind of had to do whatever it took to get him on the plane.
Oh, just like she did with Rick on the train. Can't pull the same trick twice.
Oh, yeah. She could have just hid while he got on the plane and then...
Giving him a letter saying, look, I do love you, okay? But just fuck off.
Yeah, she didn't handle that perfectly, did she?
I do believe that she would have regretted staying in Casablanca, though.
Do you think?
Yeah, I do feel like this Paris romance was a fleeting affair that gave her the comfort she needed in the wake of her husband's death. And that staying in Casablanca permanently, she would have, as Rick said, just always wondered about going with Victor.
But you say that
she will also regret going with Victor and be like, what could have happened in Casablanca?
Yeah.
Probably lots of cocktails, listening to
A nice
Sam.
time in the cafe, yeah.
Yeah.
Or both been arrested by the Nazis, who knows?
Yeah.
I can't remember what happened.
I'm sorry, it's been
Later
quite
in
a
the
long
war.
time since you've all seen it, haven't you?
No.
I was saying I can't remember what happened after the end of that film in the
I
actual
see.
war.
Oh, I see.
Like, did the Nazis just totally take it over and arrest everyone, or did the Allies take it back, or what happened with Casablanca? I can't remember.
I was not even aware that this was a thing. I'm like, whoa, I guess this could or could not be part of history.
Yeah. Well, curiously, I think that was part of another reason I loved the film so much, was it was filmed and completed in, 1941? It was sort of as this was the current state of Casablanca and Vichy France and everything.
Whoa.
They made this film so that they didn't have the benefit of knowing what would happen to... So for all I know, by the time the film got to the cinema, the Allies had taken Casablanca back or something. I don't think they did. But there was something quite... The way that Casablanca was this romantic city of people desperately all trying to get somewhere else and just trying to keep their lives going in the middle of this world-changing war. That was actually happening right then when they made the film, and had only been going on for a few months or a year or so. That was quite poignant, I thought.
Interesting.
And added to this sense of nobody really knows what's going to happen. Yeah.
God, it was a good backdrop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was excellent.
What an excellent place to set it.
Yeah.
Just have all this going on in the background while you've got these... Because you could really, at its core, just have this, like, love triangle.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be anywhere, couldn't it? And I guess that kind of story has been done a lot of times. But yeah, it's a good place to set it. And we had just these hints of politics creeping into it, and
I thought that the cafe would feature more. In the beginning, when everything's happening in this cafe, it's this very strange dynamic where you've got desperate people and the officials and people gambling and things like that. And then nothing else really happens in the cafe except these three meeting there.
I don't know. I mean,
You know,
they
like
had
you see
the
this
scene with the
bustling place.
Marseillaise, and then they shut the cafe down.
Yeah. But that all happens pretty quickly, as far as I remember. No, maybe that happens in the middle, but...
Yeah, I thought that was a little later on. I see what you mean, though. And then when they came and ransacked the place, and them hiding, most of the action still took place in that cafe.
It was in the cafe, but I feel like the initial dynamic that I was expecting to continue
okay.
through the film just petered out, and we just had this great setting of this empty cafe where things happened.
Yeah, I can see that.
Maybe.
You're right. It was an exciting place to start with so many people coming and going. And
It just seems so cool. Like, I know that I
They'd never
would be
let me in.
invited.
Yeah.
I think Fernando would have gone in.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, 100%.
they'd have loved to have you there.
Wait, sorry,
And I keep wanting to call it Harry's Bar. I've got it in my head that it's called Harry's Bar. Cafe
Rick.
American.
Oh, Rick's Bar.
I think I'd have been one of the people being, "Come on, let me in. I'm supposed to be allowed in," and they say, "No, you don't have an invitation, sir."
Not in those shoes. These are my best slippers.
I wish they still had the Great American Movie Ride. Do you remember? Did we go on that in Florida?
Oh God, we did. It was the worst.
I loved it so
Oh, is
much.
that-
It was terrible.
Oh, so good.
Have you been on this? It's in
As in
Disney Hollywood Studios in Florida.
I mean,
Probably.
if I have, then I have no recollection of that.
You just go on this little train, and it takes you through these different film settings. And there's a bit from Casablanca,
that every train has a person at the front with a microphone doing this really awful play acting thing where they go like, "Oh gee, it looks like we're in a gangster movie. I sure hope the boss doesn't find us." And then someone jumps out and he goes, "Gee whiz, I'm going to get out of here." And
wait,
it's appalling.
And there are 3 trains, and you can see all of their lips moving.
Yeah, you
Perfectly in sync.
exactly in sync if you just see the train in the distance. Completely different person with a completely different voice doing the exact same script. Awful. Right, so that had a bit from Casablanca. I'd forgotten that.
You probably didn't even like the Sphere of Progress.
That was great. Carousel of Progress.
Sphere of Tomorrowland.
Yeah, so this is a very famous movie, isn't it? This is one of the...
Oh yeah, like possibly the most famous film of all time.
Yeah. And I
More
don't know
famous than Shrek 2.
even more.
I'm not sure about that. There's a lot of parallels with Shrek 2.
I'm not sure there were.
Well, let's wait till the symbolism round.
Oh, I can't wait. Have you got the bell with you?
No.
We'll just have to clap
So
again.
maybe we should just bring it here next time.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
we've got
wonderful.
some
Got
some
jingle bells.
Tree.
Excellent. So what other things do we want to say? Yeah, did anyone have the same experience as me and probably Claire, which is them saying famous lines that you've heard and didn't realise were from this film?
I mean, I heard the famous lines, but I knew they were from Casablanca.
Yeah, okay.
Only two.
Did you hear any lines and think, "Oh, I've heard
No,
that"?
I in fact had never heard of the movie Casablanca.
Okay.
Yes,
Good
no.
lord.
Yes, no, I did not recognise any of the.
What, here's looking at you, kid.
No.
Oh. Looks like this is the start of a beautiful friendship. Man who I forgot if he's a Nazi or part of the Allies.
No. But that is fine.
Is he a Nazi?
No, I think he's the chief of police and
Oh,
therefore
Louis.
in occupied France, and therefore he has to go along with what they say, but he's trying just to make it work, trying to do as little bad as possible, like the Inquisitor from Fiddler on the Roof. Just sort of a
But
basically.
he was still a Nazi.
He wasn't. I don't know if he was, no, he wasn't a member of the Nazi party.
Was he
and
not?
I don't think he had even been installed by the Nazis.
Oh.
Well, he was French, apart from anything.
Oh.
You noticed he was French.
In Fiddler on the Roof with this one?
Oh no, on this one. None of them
Didn't
were
he have
Nazis
a British
in Fiddler on the
accent?
Roof.
This is what kept throwing me off. I was like, I can't tell where.
His name was Louis or something like
I thought
that.
it was Captain Reno.
It was definitely a very French name.
Captain Louis Reno. I thought I remembered him having a French accent. I think the actor was English. Because the actor was in, if you'll cast your mind back, The Adventures of Robin Hood. Do you remember when we watched that?
Yes, but I would never have recognised him.
Yeah, I've watched that film loads of times. He was the wicked Prince John. In some ways, a similar character. But yeah, so he had, in fact, a very similar arc to that of our hero Rick, right? They were both very firmly set up at the beginning as only saving their own skins and taking the approach of, I can't afford to get caught up in helping out other people who are less fortunate. I just need to be able to survive and, get my own life sorted. And then by the end ended up doing some quite brave stuff for other people, a bit like the main character in Hotel Rwanda. And I liked that, and I liked seeing them both just trying to get by but occasionally doing the right thing. Yeah, I liked it.
There was something weird with the chief of police, with that young couple.
Oh yeah, I think it was heavily implied that he was like...
Yeah, he was taking advantage of the
Yeah.
women.
Yeah, that wasn't good, was it?
That was pretty
I
gross.
think that was meant to be part of the comedy.
Yeah.
So there's this
you
this old
sleeping with
old
women,
boy.
vulnerable,
Yeah.
basically rape.
Yeah, that wasn't good, was it? And I think also even if we weren't meant to take it as seriously as we probably should. I think it was meant to be another aspect of he's a bit morally grey and he's not 100% good. But
It's a pretty dark shade of grey.
it's pretty dark, and actually maybe he wasn't meant to be that sympathetic.
I think he was. I think this is just of its time,
he's
like
sort of- yeah, I
cheeky,
guess
like
so.
oh, you're sleeping with the women who are desperate.
Who were?
That's ringing.
Correct.
Yeah, I see.
Because I remember the girl feeling really guilty about it, as if she'd like
Yeah.
cheated on her husband. I was like, I think you're
Not
missing
great.
the guilty one here.
That guy. What's he like? Eh? The inspector. I think those were my main thoughts. Does anyone have anything else concrete to say before we ring the bell?
What do you mean? Everything after the bell's concrete.
Concrete was the kindest word I could think of.
Before we get into
For
the
my
silly
general
part.
disdain for what happens after we ring the bell. No.
No, bring the bell, Claire.
I'm just seeing if I've got any interesting thoughts before it's random stuff.
I can't wait to get
See,
to
I'll try
Shrek.
not to say something like that. Yeah, Shrek. See what we can do.
Yeah, okay. Is it
Okay,
bell
good.
time?
Yeah. Symbolism.
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 Thank you,
Symbolism.
Christmas tree.
Thank you.
We haven't named the Christmas tree this year.
Do we
John.
normally do that?
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
John.
John?
Jay-Z?
Jay-Z.
Yeah. Jiggy G.
I'll stick with John so far.
I think we should call him Jay-Z. Because that is how a Scottish person would say Jay-Z.
Yeah, and that's kind of nice, but I just don't think I can quite handle our tree being named after Jay-Z.
What were you thinking?
I wasn't really. John isn't so
I've never
bad.
heard someone say, let's name the Christmas tree, so...
I think we did last
took me
year,
by
didn't
surprise.
we?
Percy?
Percy,
Oh,
there we
that's good.
go.
Yeah.
Thank you, that's more like it. I knew we could count on you.
Thanks.
Symbolism.
So, the main thing that I see with it being analogous to Shrek 2 is this love triangle where Fiona does love Shrek very much, but also feels herself at a disconnect with Shrek because of his differences to her lifestyle that she envisages, which is where Prince Charming comes in, who on paper is everything that she wants, but in reality is a huge letdown, but still she's compelled to fulfill this destiny that everyone is pushing her towards.
Which is to be with Prince Charming.
Which is to be with Prince
Which is to
Charming
be
and live
with-
her life as the woman behind the perfect patriarchal figure.
So she doesn't get on the plane.
No, she does get on the plane.
But in Shrek 2,
Well, in
she
Shrek 2
doesn't
she
get on the
doesn't.
plane.
Yeah, no, I guess we
Okay.
see this disparate...
But this is it, isn't it? You're talking about her awkwardness and embarrassment and just society pushing her onto the plane. That's the love potion, isn't it?
Yeah.
She can't help herself. She can't do anything but kiss Prince Charming.
And if only she'd had a donkey and a cat in boots
yeah,
to break this
maybe
terrible spell.
things would be different. Is that Sam?
I guess Sam, in a way, is
Oh yeah,
Puss in Boots.
he plays the music, doesn't he? That reminds her of
Basically Bonnie
Paris.
Tyler.
Is that donkey rapping?
No, they have this song in the end, Bonnie Tyler, I Need a Hero.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't really work.
I was more just
Okay.
thinking that would break the spell and remind her of how much she loved Rick.
I see. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But Sam fails to do what was required.
Both of these men are a fantasy.
Sorry, which film?
Oh, including Shrek.
Both of the men are a fantasy. One, she imagines that Shrek will accept her as her true self, when really Shrek's just looking for a mother wife.
Oh, wow. I haven't seen Shrek for a while. But...
He just wants someone to be with him in the swamp. Like Rick wants someone to be with him in Casablanca, which is analogous to the swamp.
Shrek falls in love with her, though.
Oh, I'm sure both of these men deeply love her.
Yeah, okay. Ah.
So Casablanca's the swamp.
Yeah.
That's your
That's my
symbolism.
analysis. Yeah.
Yep. Cool.
Which is the exciting tearaway place with the people who aren't accepted by your family and society and stuff. Yeah,
Desperately
okay.
want to break out, get into society.
Okay. Nice.
Very good.
I thought that was, it's better than I expected. Better even than I expected.
There's some shit small town in Scotland that's tagline on their sign for welcome to wherever is better than you'd expect.
Awesome.
It doesn't say anything.
That was awesome. Do you notice any symbolism, Fernando?
I just want to say that maybe Casablanca was not the swamp because it did have a cafe. What was the name of the kingdom? Far, far away. I think Casablanca is far, far away.
I can see
you
an
got it
argument
the other
for
way
that.
around.
Yeah.
Because of the cafeteria. I mean, people in Far, Far Away had 2 Starbucks opposite each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Oh, and if there's no more American cafe than Starbucks, is there?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
But really, wasn't the point of Shrek 2 that Far, Far Away was no different than the swamp?
I think it was very different from the swamp.
I feel like Far, Far Away
It's like
was
swampy.
America.
I just don't see how the
Yeah, I'm not sure about that myself.
Oh, I was complete. That's what I thought Laura was going with originally. I was
okay.
like all for that. I thought that's where they were all trying to get out of
Yeah.
Casablanca to go to.
Oh, sorry, no, I'm getting the wrong way around. Yeah, that makes sense.
But you think
I mean, on a cafe basis, yes, fine.
So this sort of makes sense. The two of you had opposite views, or somewhat opposite views, on who she was really in love with, or who she wasn't really in love with, and it only makes sense that you'd have opposite views on which way around the Shrek analogy works.
that is it's a logical conclusion of it, really.
I think so. Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Moby Dick.
Jesus Christ.
There was a lot of obsession, wasn't there? Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah. Rick was definitely Jesus.
Yeah. But in a way, wasn't Victor also Jesus?
Yeah. He was John the
Wasn't
Baptist.
Captain Reno also Jesus?
No, he was Judas.
I think he was St.
Did
Peter.
say-
But wasn't
Didn't they?
Ingrid Bergman also Judas?
Who was Ingrid Bergman?
Mary
Ilsa.
Magdalene.
Oh, yeah, she was.
Ingrid Bergman. Elsa, got it. Brilliant.
It's amazing.
What was your favourite scene?
Ah, here we go.
Oh.
Would have had to be one of the ones with that charming, roguish French policeman. Maybe after the policeman is at gunpoint and is just sort of bemusedly going along with it, and actually sort of helping out, but in a way as to pretend he's not helping out. That was nice.
I just think any of the cool scenes in the water where they're all
Yeah, I
being
think
cool.
my favourite scene where
Okay.
they were reunited. He's playing the song. What a lovely song.
That
Yeah.
was a good song.
And they meet each other again for the first time, and Victor's there, and other people are there, and cut the sexual tension with a knife.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they do.
Do you have a favourite scene?
Yes, that scene where he is shocked that there's some gambling going on.
Yeah, it was good. Good film.
A great movie ride.
Just the one thing I wouldn't. That would just about be the last ride I would want to go on if we went back to
That's
Disney
saying
World.
something, because you really hated a lot of rides.
I really did, yeah. Yeah, maybe like the
Spider-Man 3D,
Transformers
King
ride.
Kong 3D,
Oh, just all the shitty
any of the
3D
3D ones.
Yeah, King Kong wasn't so bad. The Harry Potter one wasn't so bad.
Those ones where they flattened you and you just went on a 2D ride, they were fine. They were alright, weren't they?
Yeah, those are fun. It was any ride that has the sensation of getting shrapnel in my eyes was just not a ride I wanted to go on. And to be fair,
A Bug's Life.
Bug's Life. Oh,
not really a ride, but
just this thing poking me in the arse. Terrible. So
you went to the wrong place.
I did go in the back, sort of. There's a ride based on A Bug's Life, which is just like a really bad cinema that you sit down in inside a big tree, and there's this awful 3D thing where like a few of the characters from A Bug's Life, a film I haven't seen for 15 years and didn't like, run around and just do some fairly boring stuff, and occasionally, to be funny, there'll be some like bugs that will crawl around, and then this thing stabs you in the arse to make it feel like there's bugs crawling around underneath your seat or something. It's just really uncomfortable. Like, what the hell is this? What else is my seat gonna do?
It's like 4D they call it, don't they? So like blow air in your face and spray water on you and things.
And now the wasp is flying at you. This is fun. I love it.
Did you like the animatronic rides? You didn't like the country bears. I remember that.
That was not so bad.
Did you like E.T.?
I didn't love it. E.T. was one of the best. Yeah, I loved E.T. That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
What was it? What name did you give it?
It was Rory. Yeah, he fucking hated it.
I hate it. Yeah. I also hated the T-Unit. For the record.
That was a great ride.
That is a holding pen to keep the lines shorter and the other rides. That is not entertaining.
Casablanca.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting with the weird dynamic of the refugees being so desperate to cross that they'll do anything. And what a contemporary film.
Yeah, in a way.
Also that we only let in the rich ones.
Yeah.
Need doesn't come into it. Can you pay? Makes me sad.
Where else could you have set it? Could we put it somewhere more historical, somewhere further back? People trying to get out of
Persia,
yeah. When Alexander the Great was invading
Xerxes.
or something. Yeah. I think I've run out of things to say about Casablanca.
Me too, except that
It's a
I
good
just
film.
really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I'm really glad I watched
well.
it. It kind of lived up to the hype.
Ultimately, has anything we've said made you see anything new in the film? Or
No, I'm glad. I guess I'm glad that I watched it. I'm glad that I.
Good.
I mean, if
forced
you're bored,
myself,
you're bored.
What?
If you're bored, you're bored, you know?
I mean, I was definitely bored. I would not recommend it. But I'm glad that I was forced to think of positive things about the film.
Oh, that's good.
That's nice.
Yes.
I mean, you don't have to think of positive
Yeah,
things.
you can
don't
say
That
it's
is true.
rubbish.
I guess I could have
That's
said yes.
certainly what I've done in the past.
Actually, I've just deciphered one of my notes, which is that symbol that was on the ring and stuff. There was like a weird double cross thing that I've drawn here.
Yeah.
And I intended to look that up because I didn't know what that meant. And then I thought they might explain it later on. But I don't think they did they?
No, they never did.
Do
just
we
like-
know? I thought it was maybe something to do with the Eastern Orthodox Church.
It was probably the Illuminati.
Oh,
Maybe.
Yeah. That really came through
yeah.
the whole way, the Illuminati.
As always.
It's always a bloody Illuminati. Really everything.
I think it's an Eastern Christian symbol of some kind. But maybe it was just a ring that they had nearby that they could use.
Well, no, that would
Pick a symbol.
sort of make sense. Was he far enough east to be
he was
Eastern
from
Orthodox?
Slovakia or something, right?
Well, yeah, Czechoslovakia.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Cool. Maybe. Cool.
Oh, actually, is that the thing on the Slovakian flag?
Oh yes, I think it might be. Yeah, I think there's one of those on the Slovakian flag, but not the Czech flag. Yeah, there we are. Good job. Well done. Any other thoughts?
No.
Cool. Thank you very much.